Hey everyone, we're going to be taking a look at Milwaukee's new line of everyday carry knives. They're branded Hardline. They've got a couple different sizes. We're going to be taking a look at the smallest one, the 48-22-1997. It's a 2.5-inch drop point blade. So we'll take a closer look and I'll go over what I think about these knives and how they perform. So for a close-up, like I said, this is the smallest of the knives they came out with. I think they've got a 3-inch blade, a 3.5-inch blade, and various styles with a smooth blade, and then I think there's a serrated one and like a double curve one. So this is a simple drop point blade, and they all come with a flipper design. So I kind of prefer a thumb stud. It gives you a little bit more security because you can get your index finger on here when you flick it open. But this one, it's fairly easy to do, and it has a nice sharp action when you flip it open. So it's got a nice bearing that it swivels on, and with this flipper design, it's actually got a ball detent. You can see there's that little hole right here on the inside of this the frame lock. There's a little ball that catches it when it goes all the way out, and then the frame lock snaps in and holds it in place. And then when it's in the closed position, I believe that there's another detent that holds it closed because it's very secure. You can't flick it open at all. You're only going to get it open with the flipper right here. On this end, you've got a lanyard loop, and then these two holes right here are for the belt clip that you can actually flip around. So if you're right or left-handed, you can move this to the opposite side. I actually don't have a Torx screw or a Torx bit that's small enough to get these things off. I'm going to have to special order one of those if I want to remove the belt clip. But just keep that in mind. You'll need some specialty Torx bits if you want to either take this thing apart, disassemble it, or move the belt clip to the other side. Belt clip's pretty nice. It's made of steel. It's pretty sturdy, and it's got a nice recurve right here that really lets you get it around cloth, so you can get this on with one hand onto your pants in your pocket. And I found the smallest version of this, the 2.5-inch blade, actually works really well with a watch pocket in jeans. So that little useless pocket that you normally can't get anything into or out of. The clip holds it just in the right spot. It's out of the way of your main pocket, and it's a really convenient place to keep this knife on your person. And you can see here obviously you've got the part number or the product number, and Milwaukee's got their branding on it. And then it looks like the legal team got a hold of this and told you don't put your eye out. So I think that's kind of cutting into the aesthetics of the thing, having that there, but oh well, it's not a huge deal. The finish is black oxide. And so you've got a steel side of the frame right here, and then on this side you've got a glass-filled polymer, and then this insert as well, I believe, is glass-filled polymer. And on the inside of this side, it's steel. It's like a sheet steel, it looks like, to give it a little bit more wear resistance. If you have the knife rubbing against it at all. Your frame lock is an integral piece. It goes this whole length, and you can see there's a cut here, and then you've got a groove milled in it to allow for a little bit more flexibility. When you've got it open, you can actually move that. I'm not sure exactly the purpose of this little insert right here. I believe it's to stop the frame lock from getting pushed back against the body of the knife, so it's just in there acting as a spacer, as far as I can tell. I might be wrong on that one, but it seems that's what function it's performing. As far as right and left-handedness goes, I'm right-handed, and this works really well because when you're pushing it closed, you can do this with one hand. I have a lot of trouble doing anything with my left hand because you're pulling this instead of pushing it, and it's not a natural motion for your thumb. It might be a little bit easier for a lefty to do, but I definitely need two hands to close this if I'm holding it in my left hand. So right hand, no problem though. Nice and crisp, easy to use, easy to manipulate. So the blade, the most important part of the knife, let's talk about that. It's D2 steel, and that's a tool steel. It's a high carbon, high chromium, and so it's going to have rust resistance there, corrosion resistance, and it's also very, very hard. So it's a little bit on the brittle side as far as knife steels go, but it's very, very wear resistant. As far as the sharpening on this goes, I don't know if you can see it. The grind is a little bit uneven. There's a little bit more of a steeper angle on this side, and that can be fixed. I haven't done any sharpening on this yet. I haven't had to. I've had it for about a week, and I've been messing around with it, cutting string, cutting paper, cutting cardboard, opening boxes, opening blister packs. Just using it for whatever I need to throughout the day. And it's held up pretty well. Actually, it's sharp enough. I've cut, see this pile of twine over here? It's 100 cuts in twine. I've done who knows how many boxes. Just cutting cardboard with it, and it came sharp enough to shave with. And I don't know if you can see this, if I don't cut myself. But you can see it's still sharp enough to shave with. See my nasty arm hair on that, and mixed with sweat. Awesome. It's hot out here in the garage. But so, I've been using this for, about a week, and it's held its factory edge very, very well. I've heard, I haven't, like I said, I haven't sharpened it. I've heard the D2 steel can be a little bit harder to sharpen just because it's so tough and wear resistant. But so far, I'm really impressed with how this blade is holding an edge. The ergonomics of the knife are great too. You got a good, spot for your finger to nestle in here, so you're not going to slip onto the blade. There's grip surface here. You can see it's milled into the back of the blade and the handle, so you can get your thumb on there for a power stroke for cutting. I'm really impressed with this knife. It runs in. It's up on the higher end of well, I guess not the higher end of knives, but the higher end of an economical knife, and it's I think this one runs about $60. The other ones are a little bit more since there's more steel in them, they're more material. But I think it's a decent price for the value this thing offers and the ability for it to hold an edge. I'm really impressed with that. So I'll go ahead and do some cut tests so you can see I'm not lying about it, and then we'll wrap up. Twine here. Just go ahead and make some cuts right through it. One stroke. No having to saw back and forth. Through it no problem. Also got some cardboard here. You had a little bit of tearing there. I might have gotten the blade back far on it, but you can see it sliced right through it. For the most part, it's a really clean cut. And with cardboard, you've got the corrugation in here. You can always end up with little pieces like this. Do a couple more. Yeah, it's riding up on the back of the blade. That's why it's tearing. Yeah, I kept the blade centered that time, and you can see it's a nice clean cut through that whole thing. So, plenty sharp. I've been using this for over a week. Plenty easy to use. It is tip up when you've got the belt clip on there. And I've heard some people saying they don't like it tip up because it can open in your pocket and stab you. And I really don't see that's a problem with this one because it's got that ball detent that keeps it closed. So there's once again, there's no way you're flicking this open. It's not a gravity open knife. You definitely have to use the flipper to get it open. So I really wouldn't be too worried about having tip up carry and getting poked by it when you reach in your pocket. And plus, when you pull it out tip up carry, that's how you're going to be using it in the first place. So I think it's a good design on Milwaukee's part. So hopefully this review was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and once again, don't forget to subscribe.